Welcome to the Crime Report, where we delve into the darkest corners of real-life mysteries. From unsolved murders to shocking criminal conspiracies, we explore the stories that shook the world. Each episode, we take you step by step through the investigation, uncovering the truth behind the headlines and the secrets that still remain hidden. If you're a fan of crime stories, stay tuned and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Get ready, because we're about to uncover a story that will keep you on the edge of your seat. The Secrets of Blackwood Manor. Part 1. The Disappearance of the Nightwatchman. In the quiet town of Blackwood, there stood a decaying mansion on the outskirts. Blackwood Manor, once a grand estate, had been abandoned for years, with only the occasional visitor curious about its eerie history. That was until George Davenport, a local night watchman, took the job of guarding the mansion during the late hours. George wasn't new to the job. He'd worked various security positions in town, but something about Blackwood Manor gave him an uneasy feeling. Still, it paid well, and no one in the small town dared to go near the place. On the first night of his new shift, George noticed strange things happening around the mansion. Mysterious noises, whispers carried by the wind, and the sound of footsteps when he was sure no one else was there. At around 3 a.m., George went to check the property. As he walked the perimeter of the old mansion, he spotted something strange near the back garden. Fresh footprints in the dirt, leading into a secluded part of the grounds that was thought to be sealed off. When he went to investigate further, the footsteps suddenly disappeared as if they were wiped away by the wind. That was when George began to feel the weight of being watched. But when he finally made his way back to the entrance, he was met with the most chilling discovery. His security radio was gone, and in its place, a note was left under a stone. "Leave while you still can." George immediately left the premises. The next day, he called in sick. He couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong at Blackwood Manor. But the mystery didn't end there, because when the town's police went to check on George's whereabouts, they found his uniform left behind. But George himself was nowhere to be found. Part 2. The Search for Answers. Detective Ann Lawrence, a seasoned investigator, was called to the scene. She had heard stories about Blackwood Manor, but never believed the rumors until now. The police conducted a search of the estate, but nothing was found. No sign of George, no struggle, just an eerie silence that seemed to permeate the walls of the old mansion. And began looking into the history of the mansion and discovered something chilling. Blackwood Manor had once been owned by the wealthy Blackwood family. However, after a series of tragic events, including a string of unsolved disappearances, the family vanished under mysterious circumstances. The only clue left behind was a cryptic journal entry from a former resident. "In the darkness they come. Watch the eyes, and they'll lead you to the truth." And visited the local library and started researching more about the Blackwood family's past. She discovered that the family's wealth had been built on illegal activities, smuggling, land deals, and hidden treasures, but there was a secret no one spoke of: the family had dabbled in the occult. In the days that followed, Detective Lawrence discovered that many of the mansion's former inhabitants had reported strange occurrences, such as disembodied voices and shadowy figures. The townspeople claimed that the manor was cursed, and that anyone who entered would never return. But Ann wasn't one to believe in superstition. She needed proof. Part 3. The Hidden Truth. And returned to Blackwood Manor on her own, determined to uncover the truth. As she explored the mansion's deepest chambers, she found something hidden behind a false wall, a hidden room, one that had been completely forgotten by time. Inside, the walls were lined with strange symbols and occult markings. In the center of the room was an altar, with offerings placed on it, surrounded by hundreds of candles that had long since burned out. On the altar was a book, an ancient tome, bound in black leather. As Ann opened it, she discovered that it contained a ritual, a summoning ritual to communicate with the spirits of those lost to the mansion. The ritual spoke of making a sacrifice to free trapped souls, and Ann realized that George Davenport had likely become the latest victim. Suddenly, the room grew colder, and the flickering of lights in the mansion stopped, and felt a presence behind her, a cold breath on the back of her neck. She turned quickly, but saw nothing. Then she heard it, a whispering voice calling her name from the shadows. It was George's voice, but distorted, as if something else had taken control of him, and knew what she had to do. She quickly recited the incantation from the book, trying to reverse the curse that had taken hold of Blackwood Manor. But before she could finish, the lights flickered one last time, and a cold hand gripped her arm. When the police arrived hours later, they found Anne's flashlight lying on the floor, but no sign of her. Blackwood Manor had claimed another victim. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more thrilling mysteries like this one, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Your likes and shares help us grow and bring even more gripping tales to life. Thanks for listening.